Okay, so it's recording. So, hello. My name is Alex. Usually people talk about credentials here, so I work for Microsoft. I'm a product, and product is quality. And doing this for a while, running started pizza jump. I did all kind of stuff, but right now it's device, devices and everything like. Um, and in terms of like what covers the devices, there are device updates, there are devices features, there are big projects like the app, and it all goes to private. And I run private basically on my show, and I build custom uh, private. I also responsible NPS, so all you should answer full. I look at it, and that's the reason I have this. I am uh, when you get that annoying pop-up, how would you rate? How likely you recommend your friends and family team those team spawns or teams whatever? Very annoying, but uh, go click something and then they put some comments, sometimes not right, and they click send and they think it's like I am I am the guy who reads all this stuff. I try to filter it out. I try to filter or NSWF language, and then I present it in more aggregated ways, like product management. And we use this for improve product and identify hot areas where we need to pay attention. And hopefully, at some point, we'll see bombs. You do think that techniques and influence. Um, and yeah, I'm reading it, so it is mine. Um, I know sometimes it's painful, especially when you type in feedback on the phone, but since you're already investing time, don't just do something um, extremely vague, like keep stuck, or I hate it. More specific, why? Because otherwise it just goes into like negative categories. Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, at least one word like transfer failed or it started or it crashed. Something that I can actually do something about it. But yeah, um, but it's not why I'm here. I'm here to talk about private review more. And like, uh, basically, I am recruiting customers for private review for Teams Android device. So that's how you get there, how to get nomination. You go see during Tab 100, you select option 4 for Teams Android devices. There is requirements. Not going to do demo for that page. You just do requirements. You uh, read them. You understand them. And then there is actually a private preview agreement that you hopefully also read and understand and accept. And you have to click accept button. And then you get to next step where I ask a bunch of technical questions just to make sure that I have that information so I can. So why do we do that? Why do we do private review? Right? I love when customer, especially happy customer, comes to me and say, "Why Microsoft doesn't test? Why Microsoft released this and there is a bug and blah blah blah?" And well, the answer is we do test, and tests are very successful. We have 340 test cases for phones. There is a team that does testing, and all those test cases comes with green checks and it's all great. So we do test. But the reason why we do private review, why we do TAP, is because we have creative bias. So we come up with the idea, we design it, we dream it, we think it's the best thing since sliced bread, we build it, we test it, but you know how it works, you know how it's supposed to. We invested so much time into this feature that it's hard for us to test because we know how it works. We know how to click and what to do and how it should behave and how to get over hiccups. So that's problem number one, bias number one. Bias number two is environmental. Whatever we build, whatever we test, we do it in our environment. So of course everything works. We design the feature, we build the feature, we test it in environments that we built. Of course it works. It's flawless. It's just fantastic. So when we release it to customers, you might find something different. Why you find something different? Because every customer is unique. Every customer has unique environment. Every customer has unique regulatory requirements. You have your people, and every customer has their own experience, different expectations. So when we release this amazing feature, customer might get excited, or customer might say, eh. But also, when we get it in your environment, then it's like real life testing. Whatever is enabled in our environment is probably not enabled in your customer environment. Whatever we think that feature is supposed to do, you, based on your experiences with, you work in telco for 20 years, you use Avaya, Cisco, whatever, some legacy PBX in your life. So when we say, consultative transfer, you have muscle memory what it is. We probably just reinvented the wheel with consultative transfer, right? And then we present it to you, and you're like, that's not consultative transfer. That's something that's weird. So that's why we need that feedback loop, that our reality matches your reality. So that's why. So what we do, again, I kind of covered, but basically we test in your environment. I enable your accounts, and I enable you and your tenant to get visibility to those features, to that software. It could be software, Teams apps, firmware, admin agent, whatever. Mostly it's Teams app. And idea is that I release it, we release it, it shows up in your Teams admin center, look at it, I publish release notes, hopefully they make sense. I also kind of test in public documentation with the release notes. I publish release notes and people read it, they ask questions. If it doesn't make sense, they adjust. So by the time feature is validated or whatever is validated, we also have a documentation that is validated. And then hopefully you update your devices. You do testing, I do test scenarios, and it's a baseline, but I also encourage my customers to do testing, whatever makes in the environment. If your company does a lot of transfers on the phone, please test the transfer. And if you find something wrong, you can file a bug, or I will ask you to file a bug from device. The reason, so that's part of enablement, that you can file a bug directly from device. And it's only available in, Kirsten showed something about VA, but that's boom. But when you're in the private review, when you file a bug, it lands in our bug system video. Azure DevOps teach. And then I triage it, my support engineers triage it, then we move it to engineering. Hopefully engineering will root cause it pretty quickly. They fix it, the error is fixed. You get fixed, you apply it again, you test it again. All good, no, we go back. 12 bucks, root cause. So that's how. And for this private preview program, I use Teams as a platform. So it's basically, if you onboard it, so the process is you nominate, I check. If you meet criteria, then you onboard it in team, you onboard it, you enable, and there is whole structure around this, the whole process. But the idea is that I keep you informed, I keep you busy with all updates that are available, and then, you're gonna test it anyway, and I need that results testing your testing as a constructive feedback, which is bug. So I invite you to join me in a private preview. It could be overwhelming, I'll be honest. There is a lot of stuff going on. Even in very limited program of Teams Android devices, there is a lot of stuff going on. There are small features, there are big features, and small features just sliding through very quickly, and the big features like AOS is a big complex area, they slowly, and it's not unusual that thing just doesn't work in the very beginning. Whatever we do, whatever you do, it just doesn't work, but we still have to move on and get your feedback, and we fix it, and then we try again and we test again. So it's a lot. It's a lot to process, but the best idea is when you're there, don't be scared, read documentation, keep calm, and pick the areas that are interesting to you, and get comfortable. And just so there was a lot of sessions with very smart people talking about all this fancy stuff. I'm not gonna bedazzle you with what's coming. A couple of reasons, because it's already probably been covered, and there's a bunch of stuff under NDA that I might not remember that NDA it's not released yet. So I'm gonna talk about what like public knowledge. It's AOSP. One example. So AOSP is a big, hairy project. Basically, AOSP stands for Android Open Source Platform, and the reason we do AOSP is authentication and it's mobile device management, MDM. Basically, original method, MDM method, was based on device administrator, which was kind of end of life quite a while ago, and we had to move on to something new. So we built Intune AOSP support, and so there is two things: Intune AOSP and then AOSP phone. So we had to kind of combine these two. So the project was basically Intune team had to build the new MDM for Android devices in Intune to support AOSP, and then there is AOSP agent as tracing. So basically, we had to work. We had to create AOSP agents and then work with OEMs to integrate it, and then release it both. And it went through private preview. And the project, I got involved a year ago, more than a year ago, and we published announcement, public technical article on May 15th. And then on May 15th, 2025, it's going to be start rolling out and out of the. I'll talk about that. But basically, that's an idea that Some projects are very big, very complex and heavy, and they go to private preview. We started with one OEM. It took some time to iron out in-tune pieces, and a lot of stuff that Tracy showed in the earlier session wasn't even there when we started the start. So that's kind of level of involvement that we get into private. And then, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of testing, and we got to the point where in beginning of March, we released basically 31 already at this point, more than 3 months, firmware, ASP firmwares. The control is out there. It's been actually last year. So it's all good to go. And just like every session, everybody tells you, May 15 is coming, AOSP is coming, it's inevitable. You gotta get ready, configure that in-tune profile. It takes literally 2 minutes. Like, you never seen the article before. You just open it, open in-tune configuration, and follow word by word. 2 minutes, you're done. So it's very simple. Don't panic. And there was MC Post from last year. We are updating MC Post. We have tech community with article which is updated like literally daily, with different stuff like more information for you to follow, more information around what's available because we keep releasing GA firmware, ASP firmware for devices. And then we adjusting timelines. Again, if you've seen, Ian Karsten showed you the article, there is a table. We even updating table because first release of update was 2 tables. And I didn't scroll down, and then Daryl told me there is a second table. I'm like, I'm interested. I wonder if we can combine this too. So we did. Like literally, next email it was updated and rolled out. So, but again, my point that I'm stressing that ASP is coming. Please build profile, even if you don't plan to do anything. Of you have to. You have to start planning. You have to start planning for this. Have to read articles. Again, we are at the point where it's a bunch of stuff is GA. This would be audio code in GA, yelling, a lot of stuff. Jabra GA, yelling in progress, Sneak in progress, Logitech in progress. But there is a lot of stuff that it's already ironed out. It's moving smoothly. You just need to pay that attention. Now, May 15th. So if you go to Teams Admin Center, May 15, like cluster all over the place. You click on devices, just devices. It says it screens that you May 15, and it gives you a link to TechNet article. You go into device category, it says May 15 and gives you a link to that community article. You click on an individual device, you want to upgrade the firmware, you don't care about all this AOSP nonsense, right? There is a big block that tells you May 15, and there is a link to the article. So just follow the link to the article and read and do ancient works. Yeah, and when we say May 15, don't be scared. It's a start date. So May 15, we will enable a auto update only for devices that were GA in the beginning of March. So basically, we had March, April, and half of May, so 2.5 months runway. And then even that doesn't mean that your devices suddenly overnight become AOSP. No, you can configure the policy for auto updates and delay and put devices in stages. And Carsten showed you there is 3 levels. And basically you can stretch and stage like additional 60 days. Okay. Any questions on this? All good. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great feedback. I'll take it to the team. Yeah, thank you. It's fantastic feedback. Yes, because we want to reach out to as many people as possible, but you have to get to admin center, message center. You had to get some of the idea. Okay. Yes. So if it's not enrolled in internet, it's continue working. I mean, that's a good question. I'll have to follow up, but my understanding that start like if you don't have pinching objects, there is nothing to prevent it from signing. Yeah. Let's dig into it. Yeah, it's a good question. Let's put it this way. So for the period of this feature in private preview, but again, there is a bias. I'm working mostly it's enterprise customers. Nobody complain about it, right? So good question. Let's dig into what. That's fantastic question. But yeah, what happens if I don't do anything? Well, if you don't do anything, then at some point after May 15th, there is a big chance that your device will auto update to AUSP and it will reboot and it will try to sign in. And it won't be able to sign in. So in that case, all figure support, they will ask you, have you read the article? Well, yeah, you call Premier Support, and the first question, have you configured no, well, they ask if you configure profile. The second question, have you read the article? If answer is no, please configure create profile, and you'll get happy. Anyway, MDAP. So uh-huh, I know. Receives full first screen. So yeah, it's cryptic and nondescript. Yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, if you get cryptic issue, if you so the question was about cryptic messaging on the device itself. So basically, what you do, you check if you have Intune profile, and if anything, you open Premier Support feed. Yeah, yeah. All right, so let's talk about MDAP. So MDAP, Microsoft Device Ecosystem Platform. You all had fantastic session yesterday. Explicitly mentioned that it's not Evo platform, it's ecosystem platform. So I'll stick with that. Basically, MDAP is AUSD based platform. Um, as you all mentioned, it has secret sauce, which is security, reliability, and other improvements. Microsoft HANA ecosystem focus again on security and reliability. And yeah, and for MDAP, you also have to have Intune AFC profile created in order to work. We have a bunch of partners. we already have several couple devices certified on MDAP, so Jabra, Panicas, VDS, and TRA is MDAP device, also Yelling 40, and there is more coming. Yelling T2 phones will be coming with private preview. So, and then we are working with partners, adding partners. So if we're gonna get through private preview, like almost everything in devices related, we'll see. Facilitator in team group. So it's been 15 minutes and I didn't mention AI right. Yeah. And it's all about AI, and we are bringing AI into everywhere devices. Our goal to bring AI to as close to you or customers, to people as possible. So AI is coming into devices. With Facilitator, the way we design it and thinking about it, kind of introduce AI, but in very unapproved way. You already know about Copilot, like Facilitator AI in teaching, and the recap is basically like huge success story. We introduced it. There was transcription, which was like, okay, that was cool. And then we did recap, and people, it basically become a clinics of, I cannot live without recap. If I go there and in a meeting and there is no recap, I get upset, really upset, because there is no way for me to use a summary and then, pilot that meeting. So basically, I really do miss very much. So facilitator with Teams rooms, basically idea that, again, facilitator is already available in scheduled meetings, which is there. With meeting room facilitator, basically it's to streamline this note-taking process or recap process, and scenarios that, I walk in the hallway, I bump into Daryl, we start chatting about watches, and then we switch to work and we talk about some feature and we have brilliant idea, and I don't have any napkins to write, but I want somebody to take notes for me because I'm horrible note taker. So what we do, we just stumble into any nearby meeting room, which happen to have MTR, and we pull out the phone, we scan the QR code, we select facilitator, and behind the scenes, that facilitator will schedule a meeting, invite the room, start the meeting, start transcription, and I don't even know this happened, but we continue conversation. It's taken, it's doing transcription, and then sometime later, couple of minutes later, it will spit out notes and we'll keep tracking whatever we're talking about and populating those notes. So that's an idea of facilitator. And I have tiny demo. So that's a QR code. You scan QR code, you select facilitator, it brings room into that your ad hoc meeting, captures whatever you said, it generates recap, and then it shows up in your calendar/activity sheet, and you can see recap, and you don't have to remember, because if I walk away after that conversation, 90% is gone. And there were brilliant ideas. So with facilitator, this kind of ad hoc meeting helps you to capture all your brilliance. And tying into private preview. We started this with MTR on Windows. Project started in September. The preview validation started in September. Now it's available on MTR W on Windows. Public preview, you still need to enable, you still need to move your room account into public preview channel. And there's commandlets how to do that, public documentation. But this feature coming to MTR on Android in private preview, it should be there today. Again, I'm arguing with how to enable it, but it should be there. The software on MTR is already support. So that's facilitator, AI. Comment that's it. I already said 8. 7. Yeah, I need to get to it. Yeah. So now, yeah. So that's actually, so it's in the public preview. It's not licensed yet. The licensing model not decided yet. So subject to TBD. Excellent question. And it's already public documentation. There is like long list of prerequisites. Again, this is example why we do private preview. Because when PM came to me in September, he said, I need to get real quick feedback from you customers. Can we do it in 2 weeks? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but we can try. And we roll it out, and nobody can make it work. And then we start discovering, oh, no, it's not enabled. Loop is not enabled. QR code is not enabled. People don't have mobile phones. The company doesn't allow, company does not allow personal phones to have a Teams client logged into enterprise standard. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff that we discovered. And on top of that, there are a bunch of crazy stuff that we had to fix. That's what happened in private. Yeah, and now it's available. It's available in public preview. It's rolling out to private preview for Android devices as well. Now, in all these sessions, yesterday, there were some questions like, what about this? What about that? And the default answer, even for me, or you go to Open Hour on Wednesday for Top Portal, the default answer is ND. But there is a way, aside from private preview, there is a public roadmap. I keep telling people that we don't hold secret. We want to keep customers informed. That's why we publish everything that's going to be delivered within like next month or two. We publish public roadmap. And then we have Tom and his friends and me publish it on LinkedIn. Hey guys, this is actually coming. And when it's on public roadmap, it's not just like promise or like future vision statement. No, it's common. It means in Azure DevOps, it has a date. It's actually been built. It means I probably already tested it. So it's common. So public roadmap is like, you must bookmark it. And every question that you want to ask your Microsoft account team, or you come to this open hour on Wednesday, try public roadmap first, search for it. If it's coming, it's coming. If it's not coming, nobody gonna tell you. So that's number one. Yeah. Um, no. So I know the guy who managed, and there is a team that manages. So there is the guy who works on making sure that that's actually public, but there is a separate team. That's why there is my next point, asset center. So again, if you've been to public review, it's just like digital signage is coming in January, right? And if you really not, you probably have no idea what digital signage is, right? Unless you really, banging on Microsoft door, like, what is my digital signage? You probably have no idea what it is. So there is a message center post where it's actually has like detailed documentation, like what it is, what it does, how to enable it, when it's actually coming. It even has pictures. I love pictures because it helps me to understand what the hell it is. Right? So yeah, message center post, public preview for like general awareness, and then if you want to get details, then go to M365 portal, message center. Again, search by keyword. If you find it, cool. It means it's coming. I mean, it really means it's coming. There is timeline on it. There is a very strict timeline in terms of how how long before GA we need to actually announce it in the message center. It's like, it has to be like two months window maximum. We need to publish, we need to let you know. And then again, it has very detailed description, what it is, what it does, and how it works. Yeah, message center. And then that's my shameless plug. What's coming, right? So intelligent speaker for MTRA, single channel audio, little caveats, single channel audio, is coming to MTRA. It's actually available on MTRA right now in private. For phones, line key support for third line and call transfer. It's coming to top private. Occupancy status on Teams panel, coming to public, private. And then, all the garden variety of MTRA features, phone features, it's all coming. It's always coming. There is always something new coming. And we're always testing it. And I'm always asking customers, like, hey, we about to get it. Oh, we got it, and it's available. Please test, please test, please test, please test. Oh, it failed for you. Please file it. That's what I. So join me. It's a lot of fun. You get a lot of inside information. My only ask is to be constructive, meaning don't just complain. I know it feels good to vent, but let's put that venting into productive way. Just put that venting in writing, in the book, and send and click send button, and it will attach logs. And I have about I can over to engineering, and I can go after engineering that science we actually through process fix, and we get released. And, everybody's happy. So we get great working team product. That's what we're trying for. Absolutely. AI. Yes, yes. I mean, you've seen Juan talking about all the crazy, amazing stuff they do in Azure DevOps. Yes, that's happening. Yeah, that's part of job description that not so glamorous, but a lot of fun. I try to keep my, I look at my customers in app and private review as my partners. You know, I, 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 I have some expectations that you actually read stuff that I post. I'm very hopeful that you read it. And I hope you test everything, and plus what is uh, related to your environment, to your organization. So we cover all the bases. I do ask customers test 911, which is fun in some states. Yeah, it's the interesting product. And again, to join private preview, you go to AKNS, doing Type 100, select option 4, Teams Android devices. It lands with me, I triage it. It does require NDA, by the way. If you don't have NDA, please work with your account team to get one. That's all super digital secret, and you can talk to Dina. Not take way too deep into super duper secrets. But I'm always here to help, and I'm looking at you as partner. Thanks, guys. Are there any questions? Yes. Excellent question. So the question is about what is commitment. Yes, there is commitment. So commitment to read posts, commitment to RTFM, read that documentation, and whatever it takes, to do testing. So I don't know, like if what? Right, yeah. Well, I don't want to scare people. No, I would say, okay, so if you have a device, right? So you see the update showed up, you click the button and you go get coffee or you do your job, right? I mean, and so I would say maybe 2 hours a week. Dina, keep me honest. You probably spend more with me because you like super duper dedicated. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's like and like I totally understand. Everybody has a full-time job that you pay to do, right? So I'm very keenly aware of that, and I'm very, very understanding. Yes, thank you for. Yeah, yeah. So there is, yeah, there is obviously learning. So I'll stick with 1-2 hours with caveats that there is learning curve, right? Because it helps if you read, like I document everything. There is guidance and steps and the processes, and it all built around ideas that to make your life as easy as possible, as frictionless as possible, and then again simplify my life so that hopefully I don't have to answer the same question like 100 times over and over and over. That's why it's documented. So read documentation, get everything on board enabled, and then like in the operation mode, couple hours. And my selling point is that you're doing it anyway. You're not going to deploy firmware in your production environment, without any testing. Like, oh yeah, Microsoft said it, Microsoft certified. Wow, right? No, you're going to test it internally, right? The time-consuming part, and that's where I'm urging partnership or using partnership word, is that when you find the bug and you report it, we obviously try to reproduce it internally. But again, we live in a perfect world. So most cases, we cannot reproduce it. So then we try to reproduce it. We cannot reproduce it. We look at the logs. We cannot see anything in the logs, which is engineering problem. And then, our engineers assign it back to me and say, Alex, go get more logs. I'm like, okay. And then I go to Dina, and Dina like, oh, okay. So that part can get time consuming to get logs. But again, we have all the tooling. My favorite bugs are those that not consistent, that just happen once and then you cannot repair, and then it happens again. That's why I keep asking, like, okay, it happened, in the middle of meeting, and if you been to my meetings. Sometimes I do pause and look silly, but I'm actually filing bug because something just happened to me. So yeah, catch it in the point of time, press that button so we get the logs. And then there is, you can always download logs from Teams Admin Center, even if you're not in preview program. Yeah, I will say 2 hours a week. And then you can put that. I'm doing it anyway. Thank you. Thank you. So as of right now, the answer is yes, you have to pull the whole tenant in testing. Now, I am flexible, and for Teams Android devices tab, you can place your test tenant. Now, there is another problem that you probably don't have licenses, or you need to get licenses for test tenant. Now, I'm working and really hard to get by device only review enrollment. So if anybody from this room submits that nomination, by the time you onboard it, I hope I will not have that whole tenant scary kind of set up and individual devices. Then you have it. Cool. Well, thank you so much, you guys. Really appreciate